Always great catching up with my next guest. Jai Herbert is going to be back in action. UFC London. He wouldn't have it any other way. He's going to be taking on Chris Padilla. Jai, how you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me, man. How are you?
I'm good. It's always good to talk to you. It means you got a fight coming up, which is great. I imagine the plan was for you to always fight in London. It's kind of your thing, you know, these days if you look at your last couple fights, or were you hoping to fight a little bit sooner than this?
Yeah, I'm always hoping to fight a bit sooner. That you want to fight like every month if you can. But London was coming up, and they gave me the opportunity on the card, so I took it, and I got a fight, so let's go. Yeah,
always easier to fight a little bit closer to home, which is great. Were there any other opponents in the mix, or was it always Chris as the opponent?
No, they offered me Chris, and I said yes straight away. So yeah, is what it is.
Cool. Yeah, I know sometimes they can throw out different opponents, and sometimes they don't work out or whatever. But
no.
Obviously,
they offered the opponent a few weeks back before the fight. Before the a few weeks ago, and that was it. No one else has been offered. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, always got to ask. And it looked like you got a lot of notice for this by the sounds of it. How long? When did you find out about this opportunity?
Yeah. I'd say just before Christmas, probably. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I've had, about 3 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I had loads of notice. I knew I was on the card. So, I could plan my camp and my schedule was all good. Got everything sorted. Feeling good, man. Last sparring session today.
Nice.
Feel good, man. Feel really good. Ready to go, man.
Yeah, and appreciate you doing this again. I know we're getting close to fight time, so always appreciate it. Let's talk about your opponent, 21-fight veteran, Chris Padilla, who kind of had to work his way to get to the UFC. If you look at who he's fought and what he's sort of been through here, he's been quite the surprise in the UFC too, getting a couple of really good wins. Just stylistically, how are you looking at this fight between the two of you?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. Yeah, he's pretty decent all around. Got decent wrestling, decent striking. But I see me going in there, just dominating and getting the finish.
Yeah. And obviously, it's pretty cool to have Leon Edwards headline this card. Who's camp going? Who've been some of the main guys that are helping you get ready for this one?
Yeah, Leon's there. Chris Duncan's Christian Leroy Duncan. He's training that Renegade as well. So we got 3 of us on the same card. And also, I've had like a lot of my guys who are on like Cage Warriors and stuff. They're fighting like this weekend. So
that's right.
There's been a lot of us in camp at the same time. A lot of lightweights, me, Emil Brown, Shay, and a few others as well. Aiden Lee, he fought last weekend, got a first round finish.
That's right.
There's been loads of us in camp at the same time. So we've all been like pushing each other. So it's not just like sometimes you can have in your team, and sometimes it's just like one of you fighting. So the other lads everyone's always in shape, but not like fight shape. But everyone's been in fight shape, so we've all been pushing each other.
I got to ask, how's Leon looking in camp? I know we haven't seen him in a while since the title fight with Bilal. Unfortunately, a switch up in opponents. He's now fighting Sean Brady instead of Jack Della Maddalena. A bit of a different opponent, but how's Leon looking? Because a lot of us want to see him get back in there. It's been a while.
Yeah, he's looking great, man. Yeah, he's looking really good. Looking ready to go. Yeah, he's had a change of opponents. He had the fight Jack Maddalena. He's more of a striker, isn't he, compared to Brady? Yeah. But Leon's always about himself, really. He's always focused on himself and improving his own skill set. And the opponent's got to worry about what Leon's coming with. You know what I mean? That's right, how you got to have the mentality. Like same with me. You got to worry about what I'm coming with. You know what I mean? I ain't worrying about what you're coming with. You got to think about what I'm coming with. So that's how Leon is as well. So obviously. And he's on the path to, getting his title back. So I can see him going out there, getting the win. Hopefully, fight for the title next.
Yeah, I don't see why not. That's usually how it works. Even if you lose your belt, you get one fight and then you get right back in the driver's seat. So we'll see what happens there. Your corner, what's that going to look like? Who's going to be in the cage with you?
Yeah, me, Joby, Tom Coffey, Tim Wild will be there. A couple of other lads are coming down, obviously, as well, like coaching that, and we'll have a good vibe there, man, good atmosphere. But those 3 will be in my corner.
Yeah, and I imagine busy night for the team, like you mentioned, because a lot of your teammates on the card. So I'm sure that spreads things out a little bit because you can't have. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people busy doing the cornering work, right?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of us there down there. Everyone's got their own guys that they'll have in their corner. But like we all know each other, we're all really close. So it's just going to be like there's going to be loads of us there, man. It's just going to be a good vibe with each other. You know what I mean? It's always I think that vibe always helps as well. You know what I mean? Helps the energy. It's all about the energy in that. So it's gonna be a great time.
You kind of revealed it earlier, but I'll ask again. How's this fight playing out? How do you see it going down March 22nd?
Yeah, like I say, it's going to be a good fight, but I can just see me, dominating, controlling the distance, controlling the striking, the grappling exchanges, and going out there and getting a stoppage win.
There's a couple big fights coming up in your division. I just wanted to quickly get your take on them. We got that Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett fight coming up, UFC 214. Curious how you see that one going. Obviously, big opportunity here for Paddy.
Yeah, I've been asked this question a couple of times. I mean, it's just like, I think it's like a change of the guard fight, isn't it? You got the old, like, not the old, but the veteran who's been.
He is old, to be fair. I mean, he's almost 40. Like, he's what, 38, I think. So.
Yeah, but he's the veteran, isn't he? He's been there, done that, and obviously you got Paddy's coming up as well. He's just hit the top 15, so it's a bit of a crossroads fight in it. So it's going to be entertaining. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, I know it's going to be entertaining anyway.
What about down a weight class? Yair Rodriguez, Patricio Pitbull coming over from Bellator. How do you see that fight playing out?
Yeah, that's a bad boy fight, that, isn't it? Yeah. I like that fight, man. I'll be interested to watch. Is that on Miami as well? Is it Miami?
That's Miami, yeah. That card's stacked. Yeah, that fight's on there too.
Yeah, man, that'd be sick. I'd say I like Rodriguez in that fight, man. I think he's very dynamic in that, the way he throws all the different kicks and elbows and spinning attacks. So that would be good. But Pitbull's a veteran, and he's got the tools as well, got the power as well. So it's an interesting fight.
Who would you give the edge to? I think Yair is the favorite going in. Do you think that's the right call?
Like I said, I'll give the edge to Yair, man. Because how dynamic he is. So I'll give the edge to Yair. But whatever happens, that's going to be a banger of a fight.
Volkanovski and Diego Lopez for the vacant title. Who's taking it, do you think?
Volkanovski.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say Volkanovski, yeah, man. Yourself?
I'm liking Volk in that fight, because here's what I think is going to happen is I think that Diego is going to come out guns a-blazing. He may clip Volk. It may happen. He may, we've seen the stat with fighters over the age of 35 usually doesn't go so well for them. But we've seen Diego also slow down in fights, in 3-round fights. So I think if Volk can weather that storm early, I think he can take it in the later rounds, either via finish or via decision. I'm kind of like we saw last week with Justin Gaethje. I don't think Volk's completely out of the woods yet as far as people counting him out. So I think he can survive and get a decision or a late finish over Diego Lopez. That's my assessment. So see if that pans out. Okay, two more quick ones I wanted to ask you about. Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. We talked about them earlier. How do you see that fight playing out in Montreal?
When's that fight?
That's May 10th in Montreal.
May 10th. Oh, okay. I'd say I'm not sure, mate. I'd probably say Jack go out there and get the KO.
Okay.
You know what I mean? With their hands. Or sort of maybe set up a good fight with Leon. That would.
Okay. And then last one, Jamal Hill and Cleo Roundtree. Who do you see winning that fight at 205?
Roundtree. I think Roundtree's good, man. He's got some good striking and that good defense. So okay. Yeah, this interesting fight. Though, it's going to be that'll be fireworks. That will, because Jamal Hill throws hands, doesn't he? So that's a real good matchup. That is, but that's interesting to watch.
Now, this fight obviously isn't booked, but I think it may or may not happen, but I'm just asking fighters anyways their thoughts. And I know you may be a little biased in this one, but I'm kind of leaning the same way too. Tom Aspinall, John Jones. How do you see a fight between them playing out at heavyweight?
I'm saying Aspinall, man. I'm biased, obviously, because he's from England, isn't he? But I'm saying Aspinall, man. He's like, I think he's the speed in that for a heavyweight. He's just rapid, man. And yeah, he's just so quick for a heavyweight, and his hands and that and everything. He's like a real big heavyweight as well. You know what I mean? Strong. He's got good grappling. His wrestling defense is real good as well. So I'm saying Tom Aspinall, man.
And I don't even think that's a biased pick, to be honest, because I don't think John's sample size at heavyweight is so small. We've got the takedown on Gane and the submission win, and then he fought Stipe, and Stipe was great at one point, but you're getting a Stipe 4 years later, long after he held the title here. Tom is just so different than both of them. And the thing with Tom is, and I always hear people criticizing, he hasn't fought anyone. He's destroying these guys. Look at Volkov. Look at all these other guys that he's fought. He's finishing them. It's not like he's taking like a close decision. So I think Tom's the real deal. And I think if he fought Jones, I think it'd be too much for him, because Tom's good everywhere, right? Striking, ground game, all that. Yeah. I think it'd be too much. So we'll see. But I've been wrong before. That doesn't matter. Back to your fight. So obviously some news. We got one of your former opponents is moved up to lightweight now, Ilia Topuria. You going to call him out after this fight if you get the win or what?
Yeah, man, that'll be good, wouldn't it? Calling him out, yeah. Was he fighting for the world title, probably, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's kind of the rumors. I think look, there's some talk about obviously like him moving up. Well, obviously he has moved up officially, but there's some talk about him fighting someone else other than the title. But if you're moving up a weight class, I doubt you're going to fight anyone but the champion as long as the UFC will let him. So I think that's the fight that's going to happen is Islam and Topuria. I think it happens this year. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be good matchup, man.
Who would win that, do you think? Because obviously you've been in there with Topuria, but obviously there's weight classes for a reason.
I'm not sure, man. It'd be a good fight, but I say, obviously Islam's been on a tear recently, hasn't he? So it's hard to back against Islam.
Yeah, well, I think too the interesting thing, the reason the Ilya fight to me is so interesting compared to some of the other matchups in the division is like it's 5 rounds and Ilya's got all that time to potentially get a knockout. Now he might not, he might never get there. Islam might take him down, but then this is also a guy in Ilya who I'm sure you know as well as having fought him has a pretty good ground game. He actually has more submission wins than knockouts if I'm not mistaken. So that's where I think the fight could be really interesting. But it's also Islam and like he looks invincible at 155 right now. I know he lost years ago, but since then he hasn't lost a single fight, right? So.
Yeah. Good fight, man. Good fight.
What about a win for you here, especially a finish? Like, where does that put you in the grand scheme of things? Like, I think we're kind of getting to that point where you should be ranked here pretty soon, I would think.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I got some momentum off my last fight, my last win. I just want to, put a win streak together now. Getting a momentum. That's the main thing. Getting another win, and then let's push on from there. Push on from there. Another couple of fights this year. Looking to push in to get into that top 15, man. That's the next goal.
You got a couple fights left in your contract, I imagine?
Yeah, I've got a new contract. I've got like a 4-fight contract.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So looking to push on this year and make make some waves.
Is that starting with this fight, or did you get the contract before that?
Fight, yeah.
Oh, congratulations, man. That's great. How many contracts is that for you now? That had to be a couple because you've been in the UFC for a couple
third
years
one,
now,
yeah,
right?
my third one now.
Good for you.
Contract. Oh, yeah, man. Doing bits, man,
Yeah, look at you. Big things ahead. Because, not everyone even gets past the first contract, right? So does that give you a little boost going into this fight, knowing the company's behind you? And I know the contracts aren't guaranteed, but still, you got to be feeling good after getting the news that they're bringing you back, right?
Yeah, definitely. When when they give you another fight contract, and it's like a few fights as well. Obviously, they're backing you, so that gives you a boost. That knows that like you wanted here, and they appreciate your performances and stuff. So I got to go out there and show them why they re-signed me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll be doing.
Just last question. Everyone's been talking about it. I'm sure you watched the main event last week between Pereira and Ankalaev. What did you think of the fight, the decision, all that stuff? What were your takeaways from all that?
I'm a big Pereira fan because obviously I used to watch him on Glory before he got to like anyone knew about him in the UFC. I used to like tune into Glory to watch him because I was a big kickboxing fan. But I think Magomedov, Ankalaev, he was good, man. He just like he kept it quite in his face. He mixed up the targets. His distance was good. I just thought it was one of them days, man, really for Pereira. But I think he'll do better if they do a rematch. I think Pereira will do better in the rematch. But it was quite close. But I think Ankalaev did obviously deserve to get the win. But it was pretty close. But I feel like Pereira would do better in the rematch.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how the if they do have a rematch, how the fight would go. I think what was so fascinating about the fight was that Ankalaev did it with striking. Like if you thought like before the fight if he was going to win, you thought maybe he'd get a takedown. It's like Alex is the one stuffing the takedowns and Ankalaev's like outstriking him. Like if you look at the significant strikes he actually did, I think it was like 96 to like 79 or something were the difference in strikes. So it's pretty crazy that that's how he ended up winning, which made it a pretty interesting result, right? If you kind of look back on it, so.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was a good fight, though, but interesting to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I agree. And you're always a good interview, Jai. Thanks so much for taking the time, man. I really appreciate it, especially during we're getting close to fight time. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word. Yeah, man, just all my team, everyone who's helped me prepare for this fight. We had a great camp. Everyone's been there helping me prepare my team, all my coaches and that. My family as well, helping me, being there for me. Just shout me out. Everyone check me out on my Instagram page, Jai Herbert MMA. And yeah, man, appreciate it. Come on, make sure you tune in, see me get a big win.